Sleepaway Camp is a famous low-budget slasher from the early 1980s. The movie is most famous from its ending. The ending is extremely shocking. It has a twist you don't see coming. I won't spoil the twist, but if you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. It really shocked me when I first watched it. I think the ending is what makes the movie so memorable. Otherwise, it is a pretty standard teen slasher, which is not a bad thing at all. I liked the movie a lot. It was so fun to watch. But the ending is what really elevates it to legendary status. But let's talk about the rest of the movie before we get to the shocking ending. I like the sleazy, low-budget atmosphere this movie has. It is well shot and actors are cast well. The adult characters look nasty and dirty. They are very creepy for most part, except for the character of Ronnie, the muscular counselor. He was pretty nice compared to the rest of the adult characters. Susie was also nice to Angela when Judy was bullying her. It was good to have at least two kind characters in the movie when the rest of adults were very disgusting in their behavior. The aunt character was very disturbing. Even in the beginning of the movie, you can tell that something is wrong with her. It is obvious from the way she speaks. She sounds very fake, like someone trying to be an actress. At first, I thought it was just bad acting, but then I realized that it must be intentional. I found her expression and voice very disturbing and difficult to watch, and I am sure that was the actress's intention. She did a good job of making her character look and feel off-putting of the viewer. Hearing her speak in the film make me cringe. But I listened to her in an interview, and she sounded completely normal in real life, which proves that she is a very good actress. I think that Angela was cast perfectly. The actress Felissa Rose did a good job of acting without being able to speak much. She showed so much emotion with just her eyes. Anger, fear, sadness. You really felt sorry for the character before you even witnessed the shocking ending. You thought she was simply shy and upset about her past, which is true, but there is much more to it than that. I won't spoil the ending for people who haven't seen it, but it is one of the best horror endings that I can think of. I also think Angela's cousin Ricky was a good character. The actor did a good job playing a very protective family member. He is also angry when the boys threw a water balloon at Angela from the roof and knocked her down. Then he gets reprimanded by Mel, the sleazy owner of the camp. I really don't like the character. The actor played him well, making him gross and unlikable. He was also stupid for the thinking that killer was someone else. He was clueless about the truth. The special effects in Sleepaway Camp are great. Ed French was a makeup artist, and he did a great job of creating all sorts of creative kills and gore. He was able to do this on low budget. The scene with the snake coming out from the cop's mouth was very realistic looking, and the scene where the boiling soup burns another character was also very gruesome and realistic. The character was probably the worst of the adult characters. I think every viewer probably feels happy to see him suffer like that, to be honest, because he was so bad. The thing is, though, almost all adult characters in the movie are truly horrible people, like I mentioned before. For the most part, only Ronnie and Susie are good. Those are just a couple examples of the great special effects in the movie. There are also other kills that are equally as good. There is also one kill where you can tell they were limited by the low budget. The bee scene. You see a character lifting a beehive into the bathroom stall. Then you witnessed the character using the toilet being stung to death, except you don't actually see any bees stinging him. You just hear the buzzing and the screaming. Still, it is pretty effective kill because it relies on your imagination to fill in the blanks. Sleepaway Camp is like many teen slasher from 1980s. They all sort of blend together and feel the same. Especially when you compare the film to the Friday the 13th franchise, which also take place at summer camp. But this is not necessarily a bad thing, because many people are big fans of the genre. If someone is in the mood to watch an 80s teen slasher, then Sleepaway Camp fits the bill perfectly. I am not sure which film I like more. The first Friday the 13th or Sleepaway Camp. They are both similar with surprising endings. But I think the ending of Sleepaway Camp is much more shocking. It really is iconic as far as endings go, and I can't imagine something like that being made anytime other than the 70s or 80s. It is definitely a product of its time, and I love about it. I like how crazy older horror movies get. They are always full of surprise compared to modern films. One thing that separates Sleepaway Camp from other standard slashers are some of the real dreamlike memory scenes. Visions of Andrew's father having an affair, visions of her aunt adopted mother. And in the end, it all comes together and shocks you in a big way. I like the setting of the movie. I would love to be able to visit the filming location someday of many 80s horror movies. I think you can still see the location of Sleepaway Camp and Friday the 13th, since they were filmed at real summer camps. I think the film does a very good job of surprising you in the end. It keeps you guessing who the killer is, and while I'm sure some people could predict who it is, I don't think they can predict the full extent of the ending. The iconic last shot of the film is so memorable. The movie also has a lot of funny stuff in it. It's over the top how much one of the characters bullies Angela. She seems to really despise her for no reason. She's always screaming at Angela, and I really hate the character. It is also funny to see the fashion in the movie. I like the vintage t-shirts some of characters are wearing, like the baseball shirts, and their blue jeans and sneakers. But some of the shirts are hilarious, like the very short t-shirts Counselor are wearing. It shows whole his belly and it made me laugh so much. I can't believe that style was in fashion in the early 80s. Did men really wear belly shirts like that? I guess it must feel great in summertime, especially in New York, where I think it can get pretty humid. But it looks so funny. I always like to notice fashion in older movies. I like how movies are time capsules of the time period they were made. Rooney also dresses pretty funny in the movie. I like his hoodie and matching his red sweatpants he wears near the ending. A lot of the character interactions are also very funny in the movie. The dialogue, the yelling, the insults they threw at each other. I think the cast and crew must have a good time making the movie. It really feels like there was a lot of passion involved. And I like how they're brave enough to give it an insane ending. A lot of horror movies wimp up in the end, but not Sleepaway Camp. They decided to take a big chance, and I think it paid off, since the ending is what everyone remembers. I'd like to meet Felissa Rose one day. I have seen her in interview, and she seems nice and happy about Sleepaway Camp being such a big part of her life. I have heard she's one of the nicest actors to meet. She goes to conventions a lot, and hopefully I can go one day too. The pictures she takes with her fans are so funny. I think if I met her, I would be laughing so hard during the pictures. If you are looking for low budget slasher from the 1980s with a wild ending, Sleepaway Camp is the movie for you. I've never seen the sequels, but I've heard good things about 2 and 3. What do you think about Sleepaway Camp and its sequels? Let me know in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching. And stay tuned for the next video if you want to hear more about my thoughts on horror.